Imagine the smell of a brand new interior, the sleek leather, the digital dashboard glowing in the dark as you drive through the neon streets of New York or the sprawling highways of Los Angeles. For a moment, you feel like you have finally made it. You feel successful. You feel powerful. But as the sun rises on Monday morning, that feeling is replaced by a cold, hard reality. You do not own that car. The car owns you. In the modern world, we have been sold a lie. We have been told that success is measured by the logo on our steering wheel and the monthly payment we can afford to squeeze out of our paychecks. We live in a society of subscriptions. We subscribe to our movies, our music, our gym memberships, and now we subscribe to our status. The average car payment in America has now climbed over $700 a month. That is $700 of your life force, your time, and your freedom being sucked away every 30 days before you even have a chance to breathe. You are working 40 hours a week or more, dealing with a boss you might not like and a commute that drains your soul, just to fund a piece of metal that loses value every single time you turn the key. This is the invisible anchor of the middle class. It keeps you stuck in a job you hate because you cannot afford to quit. It keeps you awake at night because you are exactly one missed paycheck away from the repo man showing up in your driveway. Most people see a car payment as a standard cost of living, like groceries or electricity. They think it is normal to always have a loan. But being normal is exactly why most people are broke. We are living in a payment prison, and the bars are made of chrome and steel. But what if I told you that the moment you pay off that loan, you enter the most dangerous 30-day window of your financial life? What you do next will either set you free forever or lock the cell door for another 5 years. Let us look at the numbers, because the numbers never lie, even when our emotions do. When you walk into a dealership, the salesperson does not ask you what the total price of the car is. They ask you one simple and deadly question. What can you afford every month? By shifting your focus to a monthly payment, they hide the true cost of what you are giving up. They make $700 a month sound like a subscription to a lifestyle, but in reality, it is a massive leak in your wealth-building bucket. A car is a depreciating asset. From the very second you drive it off the lot, it loses about 10 to 20% of its value. By the time you finish your 5-year loan, that $60,000 SUV is worth barely half of what you paid for it. You have spent 60 months working your life away for something that is worth less. Every single day, you own it. You are literally trading your most precious resource, which is your time, for a piece of metal that is slowly rusting away in your driveway. Now compare that to the power of the stock market, specifically the S&P 500. Historically, the market has returned an average of about 10% per year. If you took that same $700 a month, and instead of giving it to a bank, you put it into a low-cost index fund, the math becomes staggering. In 10 years, you would have over $130,000. In 20 years, that grows to nearly $500,000. And if you stayed the course for 30 years, you would be looking at over $1.5 million. Think about that for a moment. That brand new car you just had to have did not actually cost you $60,000. It cost you $1.5 million in lost retirement savings. This is what economists call opportunity cost. It is not just about the money you spend today. It is about what that money could have become if it was allowed to work for you instead of working for the bank. Every time you sign a new car lease or take out a new loan, you are effectively voting to stay middle class for another decade. We live in a culture that celebrates the appearance of wealth while ignoring the foundation of it. We see someone in a brand new electric vehicle and we think they are rich. But in many cases, they are just high-income earners with a low net worth because their money is tied up in things that lose value. The modern world has normalized the idea of carrying a car payment for 40 years of your life. If you do that, you are essentially paying $1 million tax just to look successful to people you do not even like. The math of regret is simple. You can either have a driveway full of shiny cars and a bank account that is always empty, or you can drive a boring, reliable vehicle and have a brokerage account that makes you a millionaire. You cannot have both, especially in the beginning of your journey. The tragedy of the modern middle class is that we are choosing comfort today at the expense of total freedom tomorrow. We are trading our future selves for a slightly better sound system and heated seats. It is a common misconception that debt is purely a financial issue. We like to think of ourselves as rational beings making logical choices based on spreadsheets and interest rates. But the truth is much darker. Debt is a psychological parasite. It changes the way your brain functions, the way you react to stress, and ultimately, the way you perceive your own potential. Scientists have discovered what they call a cognitive tax on debt. Imagine your brain as a high-performance computer. Every computer has a limited amount of RAM or processing power. When you carry a heavy car loan or any significant debt, a large portion of that mental RAM is constantly being used to manage the background noise of financial anxiety. Even when you are not actively thinking about your car payment, your subconscious is. It is tracking the due date, calculating the remaining balance, and measuring the risk of a missed paycheck. Studies from major universities like Harvard and Princeton have shown that individuals under heavy financial stress experience a temporary drop in their effective IQ of up to 13 points. That is the difference between being considered gifted and being considered average. When you are stuck in the payment cycle, you are literally functioning at a lower cognitive level. You are more likely to make impulsive decisions, you are less able to focus on long-term goals, and you lose the mental clarity needed to spot new opportunities for wealth. This leads us to the trap of the hedonic treadmill. Your brain is wired to seek dopamine, the feel-good chemical. When you buy a brand new car, your brain is flooded with dopamine. The new car smell, the shiny paint, and the compliments from your neighbors provide a massive high. But here is the problem. Your brain adapts very quickly. Within 6 months, that $60,000 car just becomes a vehicle. The dopamine high is gone, but the $700 payment remains. To get that next hit of dopamine, most people feel the urge to upgrade again. This is why so many people in the West are broke despite earning high salaries. They are chasing a biological ghost. They are trying to solve a psychological void with a depreciating asset. In the modern world, we are also fighting against thousands of years of evolution. We are social animals, and for our ancestors, being excluded from the tribe meant death. Today, that instinct translates into the need to keep up with the Joneses. When you see your coworker drive a new luxury car, your primal brain feels a sense of danger. You feel like you are falling behind the tribe. To fix this perceived threat, you take on a loan you cannot afford to buy a car you do not need to impress people who are also broke. This cycle of social comparison is the ultimate wealth killer. It keeps you in a state of chronic stress, raising your cortisol levels and damaging your long-term health. Paying off your car loan is not just about freeing up cash. It is about reclaiming your mental RAM. It is about lowering your cortisol and allowing your brain to shift from survival mode into growth mode. When that debt is gone, the cloud of anxiety lifts. You suddenly have the cognitive bandwidth to start a side business, to learn a new skill, or to invest with a clear head. You are no longer a prisoner of your own biology and the bank's marketing. You are finally in the driver's seat of your own life. The day has finally come. You have sent that final payment. You have received the title in the mail. For the first time in years, that car is truly yours. You feel a massive weight lift off your shoulders. But I need you to listen closely, because the next 30 days are the most dangerous period for your financial future. This is the critical window where most people fail. This is the moment when the system tries to pull you back into the cycle of debt. The car dealerships have a calendar. They know exactly when your loan ends. Do not be surprised when you start receiving glossy brochures in the mail or friendly phone calls from your salesperson. They will tell you that you deserve an upgrade. They will tell you that your current car is old, that the technology is outdated, and that they can get you into a newer, safer model for the exact same monthly payment you have been used to paying. This is the trap. They want to reset the clock on your freedom for another 60 or 72 months. If you want to build real wealth, you must have a playbook. You must decide what happens to that money before it even hits your bank account. If you just let that $700 sit in your checking account, I guarantee it will disappear. It will be eaten up by dinners out, slightly better clothes, or a new gadget you do not really need. This is called lifestyle creep, and it is the silent killer of the middle class. To avoid this, you need to follow a 3-step strategy. Step 1 is the insurance pivot. When you have a loan, the bank requires you to carry full coverage with high premiums to protect their asset. Now that you are the owner, you have the power. You should shop around for new insurance immediately. You might be able to raise your deductible or adjust your coverage levels to significantly lower your monthly premium. The goal is not to be underinsured, but to be efficiently insured. Every $50 you save here is $50 that goes directly into your pocket. Step 2 is the self-insurance maintenance fund. One of the reasons people run back to a new car loan is the fear of repair costs. They think that a $500 repair on an old car is a sign that they need a new $40,000 car. This is bad math. Instead, take $100 of that old car payment and put it into a separate high-yield savings account labeled car maintenance. When your car eventually needs tires or a new alternator, you will have the cash ready. You are now your own bank. You are no longer afraid of a mechanic because you have already planned for the inevitable. Step 3 is the wealth switch, and this is where millionaires are made. You are already used to living without that $700 a month. Your lifestyle has already adjusted to that expense. So, do not give yourself a raise. Instead, set up an automated transfer for the remaining $600 directly into a brokerage account. On the same day your car payment used to leave your account, have that money automatically buy shares of a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. By doing this, you are effectively turning a liability into an asset. You are switching from paying interest to earning interest. You are moving from the group of people who fund other people's dreams to the group of people who fund their own. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. They do not wait until they have extra money at the end of the month to invest, because there is never extra money. They treat their investments like a bill that must be paid. The difference is, this is a bill you are paying to your future self. During these 30 days, you will feel the itch. You will see your neighbor bring home a new truck, and you will feel that old biological urge to compete. You must remind yourself of the math we discussed. Remind yourself that every month you hold on to your current car and invest that payment, you are buying days, weeks, and years of your life back. You are purchasing the ability to retire early. You are purchasing the power to say no to a job you hate The goal is not to drive a 20-year-old car forever. The goal is to drive your current car until it no longer makes financial sense, while using the gap to build a foundation that allows you to buy your next car in cash. Imagine the power of walking into a dealership and paying the full price with a check. You become the one in control. You get the best price. You avoid the interest. That is the ultimate flex. Not the car itself, but the freedom that comes with knowing you do not owe a single person a dime. True wealth is what you do not see. It is the money not spent. It is the luxury car not bought. It is the flashy designer watch left in the store window. In a world that is obsessed with looking rich, the truly wealthy are busy being free. They understand a fundamental truth that most people ignore. Your car is a tool to get you from point A to point B, not a trophy to prove your worth to people you do not even know. The next time you pull up to a red light and look at the person in the brand new German luxury SUV, do not feel envy. Feel a sense of clarity. You do not know their bank account balance, but you do know one thing for certain. They are out at least $800 every single month. They are trading their future for a status symbol that is losing value while they sit in traffic. Meanwhile, you are sitting in a paid-off vehicle, and your money is out in the world working for you, growing while you sleep, and buying back your freedom. There is a quiet power in driving an older car. It is the power of knowing that you do not have to impress anyone. It is the power of knowing that if you wanted to, you could buy 10 of those luxury cars in cash, but you choose not to because you value your time more than their leather seats. This is the shift from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset. It is the moment you realize that your life is worth more than a monthly payment. As you move forward from this 30-day window, remember that the goal is not to be the person with the shiniest car in the neighborhood. The goal is to be the person with the most options. Options to travel, options to retire early, and options to give back to your community. Financial freedom starts in your garage, but it ends in your soul. It is the peace of mind that comes from knowing that no matter what happens to the economy, you are in control. If this video changed the way you look at your driveway, hit the like button and subscribe to join our community of wealth builders. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the one thing you are going to invest in once that car loan is officially dead? Your future self is waiting for you to make the right choice. Stop paying for the past and start investing in your future. I will see you in the next one.